Hey, Dad, I got some cop jokes for you. You want to hear them until I get released from my post?
Some what jokes?
Cop jokes.
Oh, okay. But before you do, I have to give you a dad joke. Ring, ring. No, ring, ring goes the phone. I pick it up and say hello.
That was a terrible joke. They're so bad I had to laugh.
Ring, ring goes the phone. I pick it up and say hello.
I'm going to say that to the next cop I see. How many cops does it take to screw in a light bulb? one to hold the bulb, 5 to spin the house, and 99 for officer safety.
Oh, there we go. Second channel. Let's grab that. Okay. Already said. Why is that bell not dinged? Actually, I went through and disabled a bunch of bells in the past. There we go. Pocket Dragon Express. She's wrong.
So Heather's got an update for everybody.
Yeah, Terry's on his way over there. He finally talked to the bondsman. Terry's going to go and pay the bondsman and sign our paperwork and all that shit that we got to do. And the bondsman cannot go there and inquire about it or nothing until 9:30 in the morning. And then he said it'll probably take them about an hour to get their side of the paperwork done and all of that once he's able to go over there. And so she will be released probably about 10:30, between 10:30 and 11 tomorrow.
Okay.
Because even if Terry had been there, Johnny on the spot, they weren't going to sign anything at the jail till after 9:30. Because they're saying it's a mandatory 12-hour hold because it's aggravated.
Aggravated, but charged by or pressed by the sheriff rather than a citizen.
Right. What I'm thinking is that she told me that when she drove down the road to get the name of the road so that she could put it on her complaint form for the jury, that him and his brother were in the front yard. And she said they look identical, but they were both in the front yard. With him being a CO over there or deputy or whatever he is, he probably called a buddy of his and said, hey, I need you to do something for me. And then they show up at her house later, even though she had already been at the jail trying to get charges filed on him for what he did to her yesterday.
So that's crazy, right? So that part I didn't know. So when she goes back to the street to get the information, the guy that assaulted her is there with his brother, who is also the corrections officer that's working the shift where she's currently housed at now. So he contacts most likely the sheriff and says, hey, my brother just assaulted some chick and told her to fillet him. Let's get this woman arrested. So in his private capacity while off duty, he abused his official capacity to have a sheriff pursue charges when neither one of them could be a valid victim. That's great.
Yeah, considering yesterday the sheriff told the guy what she was doing was legal. And she's got it on camera where the officer told her, I told him, what you're doing is legal. You're filming in public. Everybody's out here in public. And there's nothing he can do. And I think what happened was they found out she was trying to file charges on him for assault or battery or whatever. And they're like, oh, no,
You know how this is going to end? At some point, Dragonette is going to say thank you, because she's not going to have to worry about her income anymore. I mean, not for nothing. There was an auditor that was recently detained for 20 minutes, and the cop couldn't tell him what the reasonable articulable suspicion was. So he said there was a crime, he just couldn't articulate it, and that activist got a shit ton of money out of it. This is an instance where a cop is saying that no crime was committed, and they colluded to illegally detain her. If she files lawsuit, she is absolutely going to win. So she can thank him at the end of this. But it's unfortunate. It's not going to come out of their paycheck. It's going to be tax dollars. So that's why they're so quick to abuse it. They use their qualified immunity and say, okay, we'll do anything that we want, and we won't have to pay the consequences. We'll just have the taxpayers that pay our salary do it.
Exactly.
What state is that? Colorado that's gotten rid of qualified immunity?
New York, isn't it?
Colorado has recently, I don't think it's passed yet, but it's not so much that they've gotten rid of qualified immunity. They haven't done anything exceptional. So, for example, in any state that has qualified immunity, if a police officer does something beyond the scope of his legal abilities, then he loses his qualified immunity. Colorado has just really written into law specifying that any negligent or unlawful act is not protected by qualified immunity. The problem is just no state's ever recognized that, but it's always going to find in favor of the cop. I don't expect Colorado to be any different.
True. And then you look at what Oklahoma did. You got to, if you film a cop and you want to file charges, you've got to let the cop know that you're going to file charges, and then it goes to him, and then he has to approve it. And I'm like, what?
Police Bill of Rights that they hid inside of a budget reform. On the last day of legislation, and this normally happens in a lot of different states. On the last day of legislation, they'll pass a lot of silly, meaningless stuff. So what they did is they passed an 812-page budget reform, and the longest section of the budget reform is pesticides, certification, and safety. And the reason that this one paragraph is the longest is because under pesticide certification and safety, they hid the police bill of Rights, which means that unless an officer has been charged, you can't accuse him of wrongdoing. And if you are going to accuse him of wrongdoing after he's been charged, then you have to notify him 48 hours in advance before you publicly say what you're going to do, and you have to give it to him, his department, and his fraternal order of police representative. Which there was a professor at the University of Omaha, Nebraska, that said this is going to bypass any internal affairs system, because if a cop does something wrong, now you're giving them 24 hours notice of what you plan to allege that they did for them to get their story straight.
Not only that, but how can you not file? Okay, they have to be charged first. Okay, but charged on what? If you haven't made a complaint, because you can't, because it has to go to him first, they're never going to be charged.
Well, so for example, here's how that would work. So if I'm out filming in Missouri and a cop, and he says, oh, you got to leave this parking lot. It's restricted access. I said, no, it's not. It's public. I can film here. And he comes up and he pushes me to the ground, right? I can't then go live on that live stream and say, hey guys, you just seen that? That cop just assaulted me. Because he didn't assault me because he hasn't been charged with it. So I can never say that he did that, even though he did it, unless they charge him with it. And when they charge him with it, which they will never do, I then have to say, hey officer, remember you assaulted me? I'm going to be talking about it. So here's your 24-hour notice. And then the police department can approve or deny the request. So that doesn't still give me the ultimate authority to talk about it legally under this stupid fucking law. It just means that I have to warn the department can say to me, no, even though we charge him with it, you can't talk about it.
So what is the county this is in again?
Yeah, Rutherford County.
Yeah.
Rutherford County. Yeah, and we're trying to get their sheriff's Google account to reflect 1 star.
I was shooting for 1.6. When we started tonight's endeavor, they were at 2.8. What are they at now?
It was 2.6 about 30 minutes ago.
I done lost the tab, so I close them out, use them up. What's the search you did? Rutherford County Jail?
Rutherford County, yeah,
Jail.
Rutherford County Adult
Detention Center.
Detention Center, yeah.
Yeah, but when I just looked up Rutherford County Jail, it popped right out. It's in Murfreesboro.
On New Salem Highway.
Yeah, do not call.
There you go.
But
And,
should anybody want to redress your grievances, hit 2, then 1 to get directly to the jail.
We'll
thought
be
it
in the
was 3.
basement.
I thought it was 3, and then
No, so 3, no. So if they can't connect you to the jail, when you call, you want to press 2, and then that'll direct you to the jail, and you press 1 for booking.
so
3
somebody
tells
get
you
to,
to dispatch.
yeah, 3 gets you to dispatch, who then just transfers you back to the same number.
Well, not if you get that one idiot.
That's
Yeah,
not a transfer, yeah.
I
We
was
don't
just
know how to
blown away.
transfer.
I was so blown away by that. He's like, no, we can't do it. I was like, so the guy speak to the sorceress that transferred me before, and then she can use her magic spells.
I
Oh,
was
yeah.
I was muted. I was laughing so fucking hard.
All
Because
right,
at one point I made a noise and I was like, oh shit. So I hit mute and just had to, because I was laughing so damn hard.
What's going on, man?
What's up, Wolvie?
Hey, Dig, you know why that 12 hold's in effect?
Minors are involved.
Yep, it's called a domestic. It's a 12-hour hold.
Well, see, we're gonna get this though. Yesterday, the sheriff's deputy on camera said, what you're doing is legal. Yes, there's kids, but you're in public. They're in public, and I have told him that you haven't done anything wrong. So she's got that for her.
Oh, she's gonna smoke this case. I mean, there's really no question about it. I just think it's important in this aspect that when it gets to the prosecutor's desk, they can look at it and they say, well, this is a fucking nobody. So normally, in the best interest of justice, we wouldn't pursue this, but no one really gives a shit. So we'll just push it, and maybe we can get a plea deal out of her, because most of the time, nationwide, the prosecutor's rate is a 96% rate when it comes to plea deals. But if people redress their grievances and they call this fucking place and remind them that we give a shit, then they'll be much more likely to not want to have to go down the rabbit hole. I mean, it doesn't protect them from a lawsuit, but I mean, if they pursue the charges, then it would add an aggravated nature to the civil suit.
Summer, she does have the video. It was up. She's just put it on private. She put it on private earlier today.
Yeah. And with respect, with age, with people, the older they get, the more intimidated they are being locked up. So
Yes, and she does have medical concerns as well. So
that's what I'm saying.
that's one reason, we were like, oh shit, we gotta get her out.
I get it. I get it.
Everyone can leave a review as well too. Like, go ahead to their website and don't put threats or anything on there. But like, you can leave a 1-star review and be like, I think it's absolutely bogus that you harass 65-year-old women or whatever it is that you want to say that you feel. You can redress your government through their reviews. And here's the thing: like, these are sheriffs are elected officials in Tennessee. Like in Massachusetts, judges are appointed by governors. In places like Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, judges and sheriffs are elected,
Yep.
not appointed. They're appointed only through the people. So when you destroy their public rating, that's the stuff they care about. Like, you hit people in the pocket, right? And if they don't have a job, they don't have a pocket. So go ahead over there to the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office and Adult Detention Center and leave a review and let them know how you feel.
Yeah, it's too bad we couldn't get a quarter star.
Firm audit is saying they are now at 2.4.
Hey, can you hear me or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm fairly new to all this, and so she got arrested for filming the school bus. I'm just clearing things up.
Yes.
She was filming a school bus.
Can anybody tell me whether it was entering or exiting city property or school property?
From the school.
Oh, yeah.
She followed from county property, from the school. Because we've had a lot, and I mean a lot, of school bus crashes in Tennessee.
Yeah, but
And-
did she go there? Well, you know what? I don't want to. You know what? I'm gonna send you an email because I don't want to incriminate her.
That'll work.
No, I know the question you're asking will be, and the answer is no.
Well, I'm gonna ask it in private just in case, but you get the picture, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely.
Because they do. If in fact, if it was with the intent because of the driver, right?
Oh shit.
You understand the driver, if that was targeted, and if the intent was there, so were the kids.
No, it was a random pick.
Well, I think the issue with the aggravated stalking through the charge itself is they're saying that it was illegal to be filming the kids. The problem being is that the recording emanated from public property, emanated from a public road. She sees the school bus, she starts filming it. So I mean, what's the legal argument that every single
Well, I
business?
think what they're trying to say is because she went back to get the name of the road, to write down the name of the road for her paperwork.
Did you hear that? She went back. That's a pattern.
She went back to get the specific name of the road because she had to have it for her paperwork.
You know how they gas like that shit though.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, no, of course. The problem being though is when she goes back to get the name of the road, the initial guy that assaulted her, his brother was right there. His brother
For the county.
is a corrections officer that's on shift right now with her at the same sheriff's department where the sheriff took up the charges. So it's very easy to see that she goes back. She says, hey, by the way, maybe the police didn't press charges against you, but I certainly am. Now I got your street name. Now I got your picture. I'm pressing charges against you. And his brother says, oh, yeah, I'm a corrections officer. I'll see you over at the jail. I'm going to call my boss, the sheriff, right now and have you get arrested. It's interesting that she wasn't arrested until hours and hours later when this guy's shift started.
Exactly. See, and she didn't even talk to him this time. She just drove by. But they were hollering shit at her because they recognized the vehicle and her.
I'm just wondering if they have a sworn affidavit yet.
I'm sure they do.
I don't think they don't always do that because they might be just making her take the ride.
I don't
All they
think so.
have is statements from yesterday.
Well, I mean, we don't know that for sure. So
Well,
what
yeah.
Wolvie is bringing up is a very valid point. It's part of the reason that he's so good at what he does. Is that in situations like this, like they're not going to go through all of this. Like she's been a thorn in their side, and she doesn't just if she just went up to cops and said "fuck you" like a lot of us do, then they could get past that. But digging in and blowing up every aspect of everything that they do wrong, they're going to want to make that stop. So in this situation, someone probably filled out a probable cause affidavit,
Yep.
whether it be him or the brother, because the sheriff's going to know that he can't solicit a charge against her on his own because he can't be a victim. Now the brother is a sheriff's officer, so he was in a private capacity.
And he would also have to see it and witness it.
Right, so he's in capacity. He's not in a corrections officer. Doesn't swear the same peace officer oath that a sheriff's deputy.
Correction officer ain't sworn in.
Right, so he's at his home. Then he can be, and he's with his brother. He's now a victim, so he can call up the sheriff, even though it's his boss and it's totally inappropriate. And he can say, hey, listen, this is what just happened. I am a victim. I am a witness. He files a probable cause affidavit, and at that point, the probable cause affidavit is used for her arrest.
Yeah, but
Sydney
that's
Sue,
easy to give it to an ADA though. That's the sheriff's. They got all kinds of ADAs that they can call. You know what I'm saying? That's easy.
Sydney
Yeah, I
Sue,
think we're
Great
gonna
Lakes
fight
Audits is already working on that.
I
He said
don't
someone
think
FOIA their
we
arrest record.
I'm just gonna tell you my opinion. I'm calling it. I think they're gonna drop charges right at the end. I mean, I think it's just they're making her take a ride.
So like, what do you mean? Like they're going to drop it at the end, meaning like before trial? I'm thinking like I'm thinking they're not even going to prosecute.
I don't even think it's gonna. They're not gonna prosecute. I don't even think it's been approved.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on the same. I'm on the same thought process. Is that this sheriff took the affidavit, they effected the arrest. She's going to get bailed out. She's on the and that's another reason why they probably push for this charge for 12-hour hold, because they know that in the best interest of justice, the DA is going to decline to prosecute. So at least they got 12 hours and a lot of embarrassment out of her to say, hey,
You know,
listen,
of intimidation of her age, considering the circumstances of everything and how it rolls. They're wanting to teach her a lesson. That's all this
Well,
is.
and they told her yesterday because she told them, I filmed government officials, anybody, with county, city, state, anybody. And they're like, well, that means you'll be running into us a lot. She goes, that's fine with me. I record y'all. And he was like, well, that's fine.
Here's the difference, and it's not a sexist difference. It's just an ego-driven, tyrannical difference. That they would not do something like that with me or Wolby, because me or Wolby are willing to take the arrest, and on top of that, our mouths are just insane. There's no way they're going to get around us with the verbal judo. We're going to make them look stupid. So for them, the best action is to not even engage us, because there's no win for them.
Most of them run. Most of them run.
With her as a specific target, because they see the age and they say, all right, you want to fuck around again, and they're thinking that she's just gonna lay back.
Well, Keebler's, she's mentioning the new Department of Homeland Security memo that it went out in February. I didn't know a new one had gone out.
Well, so there was one done in 2018. That Department of Homeland Security memo stated that it's legal to film all public buildings. That was like really the big one for
That was
activism.
federal. Yeah.
Federal. And then another one was done at the beginning of 2000, the end of 2000, no, beginning of 2020, and that one was just to clarify verbiage stating what a public building is to exclude certain points. And then I don't know if it's been done again, but it's already been done over once since 2018.
Josh, Keebler says she just sent it to you. The
Oh,
same memo. National Terrorism Advisory System. Oh, after that father, they did domestic terrorism on him at that school board meeting. I bet you.
So wait a minute. Fill me in. What's up with that?
I can't remember which state it was in. It's one of the eastern states.
Oh, are you talking about the New York subway shooting? I think that's what it's from.
Oh, that was just a couple weeks ago.
Is that not it?
No,
What's it have to do with us recording?
absolutely nothing. I wouldn't think.
So,
But it's got to do with mine.
under the Patriot Act, Wolby, there's a shit ton of clauses which have nothing to do with anyone actually being arrested or detained. So for the best interest of what can be considered national security is supposed to be under the umbrella of what is a threat to us as a nation as a whole, like what puts us all at risk, right? So it's not really localized to one specific area, but they're utilizing part of that clause and they're going through loopholes and gray areas to say that we can localize, one area to be a national risk, so they can limit what you can record.
Okay,
Wait a
check
minute.
this out.
I need to clarify something real quick.
Go ahead,
AFG just put in that someone posted on the video that she got out of the car, squared up to the man, and that they had the video of it. She never left her vehicle, not while he was there. Now, when the sheriff got there, she did get out to talk to the sheriff and then got back in to fill out her
Being
paperwork.
cordial, right? Yeah.
Right. When that man was there, no, she did not get out. She was scared shitless. She did not get out of her car.
Cops out there real bad too. I don't know
Hey, did you guys know the Patriot Act also insists if you're 100 miles from a border, they don't need probable cause. They can just kick down your door. No knock warrant.
The hell?
Yeah, but I still think that you need so you're supposed to, regardless of the Patriot Act, you're supposed to have a judge's warrant regardless. But
That's what the FISA court's for. It's a secret court, and that's a rubber stamp, homie.
yeah,
That's a rubber
exactly.
stamp.
Yeah,
What's FISA court? What's FISA court?
It's a secret federal court that they go to get permission to spy on Americans.
Yep.
yeah, and the judges. So, for example, say Wolby's the judge, right? And he's just the judge attached
Damn it.
to this FISA court, and I'm like his secretary. They can contact me and say, hey, listen, this is a bad dude. We're gonna need a judge's order, and I can sign on behalf of him. Like, there's zero oversight. Like, you lose your right to trial, you lose your right to speak to the counsel. They can hold you up to 1 year without giving you access to an attorney at all, and they don't. So, probable cause is not attached to.
Yeah, it's attached to 1,000 grenades, man. You don't want to fuck with it.
Like, they don't need probable cause. They don't need reasonable articulable suspicion. You just feel like you might have done something. Only up to a year enough to talk to anybody.
Wow.
And they call it the Patriot Act, which I think is fucking funny that they attach the word
It is,
patriotical.
It's like the Nimitz to what we feel. You know, it's kind of crazy.
Definitely.
Damn
We're
it,
gonna
man.
put together an audit, and we're gonna go out there in force.
Well,
I'm
you guys
always
got to do
in
something.
Oregon. I can't do nothing. I'm in Oregon. Well, I can do this.
That's good enough. That's good enough, man. All I need is a fucking. I have a shit. I can't tell you how many miles I have on American Airlines. I think that in 2020, I spent 38 weeks of the year on planes. So I have a shit ton of miles. I can fly back and forth several times. And
I would, but they make me pay for 3 seats.
oh, fuck it.
Oh my god.
All right, guys, I'm going to bed. Dad, thanks for picking up the torch and continuing the fight. Heather, you're amazing. Wolby, thanks for coming up. Urban, very nice to meet you, and everyone in chat that's been following along. Really appreciate you. Those that donated, don't forget to hit the like button.
Can I ask
And,
a question? Anything real quick?
Yeah, sure, man.
So, like I said, I'm pretty new to all of this. Like, I just found the video randomly, and I'm just learning as you go. So, is your channel? I saw you have 75K. Is your channel just for like recording like public officials, or what is your intent on your channel?
Yeah, so it's police activism, government accountability. Spend most of the time recording police. As my channel grew, I started following stories as people started reaching out to me, different stories of police violence and government corruptness. So, I'll normally spend my time filming police, following stories where there's bad cops, and from time to time when there's public interest stories, I'll do some shows on that. Basically, if it has anything to do with bad government, bad cops, I'm in it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And there's a bunch of people that send him articles and videos and stuff, and he goes through them like, yeah. Oh, wait a minute, that's interesting.
He's pretty much one of the big boys. Like, gets the word out.
Definitely.
I've been around a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't, when I think of like the big boys, I think of people like Eric Brandt, James Freeman, some of the people that led the way, but I'm definitely one of the people that have been around a long time. So, I'm in the community, so I'm definitely willing to help if a situation arises, but wouldn't even know about this situation or many others if it wasn't, for people like Heather or, people like Wolvie super involved. I don't think in this situation, most of the time that channel size or views really makes a difference because, we're only as good as another person that's willing to spread the word.
Well, see, and there's people out there, they don't realize that, yeah, these auditors are out there. They're the front line. They're out there filming. They're putting their lives at risk. They're putting their freedom at risk. What they don't realize is they're sitting there going, well, there's nothing I can do. Wrong. Go look up these articles. Go look up these videos. Send them to these guys. And if it's of interest and if it's something that needs to change, they will go out there and look into it.
Yeah.
So don't say I can't do anything. You can read and you can send an email.
And continue to watch these videos, and
Exactly.
and practice. Take your camera out and start recording shit. You don't have to record cops right away. You can just record, just get used to recording, and then before you know it, you might come up on a scene where cherries and berries. Boom, you're there. Just do it.
Or like me, your first time, they're literally at the end of your driveway.
We had one kid recently. He's sitting in prison for 36 years because the police responded to a domestic violence call, and they showed up about 3 hours later. They had a knock and announce warrant. They showed up. They didn't knock. They didn't. The body cam, shows everything. They didn't knock. They didn't announce. This kid looks out his window and sees several people dressed in all black with no police markings with firearms. So he puts his gun in his pocket. He walks out the door, and as soon as he steps out the door, he's shot 3 times. He died several times on the way to the hospital. Directly after it, at one point during the situation, one cop says to the cop that fired the gun, he's like, "I'm having nothing to do with this. When you go to court and you go to jail, I'm not going to be involved in that shit." And his response was, "Well, don't be a cop." The cop that fires the shots goes to the police station. He debriefs. He says that he's the only person that fired, and the person he fired at did not have a gun in his hand. He didn't even have his hand past a 45-degree angle. He just shot him because he wasn't willing to take the chance. Now, Team Shane. 9 months later, this cop says that they announce themselves as police. They knock on the door. The kid comes out. He aims his firearm at them. They tell him 3 times he needs to drop the firearm. He doesn't. He fires the gun at them, which is why they fired their shots. He's sent to prison for 36 years. So someone sent the body cam footage to me. I looked at it. I reached out to the family, found out that all this evidence, like the body cam and stuff that should be important to his trial, was never introduced. A total fucking nightmare. So we hired a fucking lawyer, got this new lawyer involved, and now he's looking at post-conviction relief and in the best interest of justice, getting out of prison. So it's and the body cam you asked, Uncle Fester. It's on the Team Shane Facebook page. I believe it's a public page. I don't think you have to join. I haven't released it on my channel only because the lawyer said that this is all stuff under Brady and goes to prosecutorial misconduct and appeals. So I haven't released it because I don't want I don't want to give the information over the enemy. But it's all available on Team Shane. So if you go to the Team Shane public Facebook page, every single piece of body cam is available. And if you email me, I do have consent to regurgitate that. And people like Lackluster and High Impact Flicks also have it, and they're going to be releasing that stuff as well.
That shit needs to go viral, man.
And it's sad, Wolfie, because when we tell the cops to go fuck off, we'll get 2 million views on that video. But when a kid's wrongfully in prison for 36 years and we do something positive and get him out, no one wants to watch.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It's weird, man. That is a paradox to me. I don't understand.
No, I tell people that what we're doing is we're teaching the Constitution at a first grade level. When we revolted and the revolution happened, the only reason the revolution happened, we were able to take 3% of the population and create a new government is because people looked at tyranny and they said, "Fuck it, we have nothing to lose." But now when we're looking at the same tyranny, people look at that same prejudice and they say, "Well, I have everything to lose." And we just become so indoctrinated that we're willing to support by watching these videos and say, "Yeah, First Amendment is great. We can say fuck you to the cops." But when it takes people to actually get involved with something this deep, something this bad, they kind of say, "I'll just stick to the videos of people telling the cops to go blow themselves."
Actually, it's just easier to be a bootlicker,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Most people, they really don't, especially Caucasian people, they really don't want any type of engagement when it comes to drama or conflict. It would just be easier just to give them my license so I can get down the street, because they don't care. They really don't care about the Fourth Amendment. And me personally, I had this conversation a couple nights ago, and I blame the baby boomers, for not teaching us, all right, our generation, what the Fourth Amendment was all about. Because the Fourth Amendment is everything. Okay.
When you were a kid, did you have civics? Did you have a civics class?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that, I'm 34 and I know that my first year in high school, they still had civics. They got rid of it. When you went through civics, their job was to teach you all of your rights as an American. And now that's just not popular, right? And, Wolfie's absolutely right. I seen someone that had come up to support me when I was filming in Indiana. And I went to the restaurant that I thought they owned. And it said, black-owned business on the front. And I said, "Holy shit, you guys just got bought out." He was like, "Now we own it." And I was like, the sign says black-owned business. He's like, "Yeah, that's better than ADT. That's the best fucking theft deterrent. Because when they're marching through the city and they're burning shit down, if we put black-owned business on it, or we support black lives, and they'll leave our shit alone." And I was like, that is the fucking problem. You will literally be against the cops one day and with them the next.
You see? That's why Antifa was Antifa, because Antifa was actually an organization that fought against the Nazis. The browncoats, they fought against the browncoats, and they lost that battle, and then they joined them, and they became neo-Nazis. So all these white brats from Berkeley became the Antifa, and then BLM was created in the shadows of that.
Antifa it stands for anti-fascists. Yeah. But I mean, literally, when you listen to them talk, they're not anti-fascists.
No,
they're absolutely fascist, and they're stupid. And
they're more like school club.
Donald Trump, put this in perspective for you. Antifa was defined as a terrorist organization, and the KKK has not yet been defined under the government as a terrorist organization. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But I gotta head out to bed.
I'm gonna have to get off here and wait for my phone to ring and all that good stuff. And I will put it in Discord and in text messages and stuff. Just as soon as I have any information, I'll disseminate it out to everyone.
All right, cool, man. I'm gonna bounce too, guys.
As soon as she's out, everybody will know.
Cool. Well, I want to jump up here and tell everybody thanks for everything that they did. And AFA, you're awesome. Heather, appreciate you. Yeah, I finally made it over here.
What up, Road?
Can you post your link, AFA?
I'm sorry, buddy?
Can you post your link, your YouTube? I can't find.
Yeah, it's not accountability for all. Yeah, accountability for all. AFA, it's much shorter to write.
Hey, Carl.
I just have to.
I appreciate it.
So Miss D is asking what's going on. You guys are better explaining it. I don't know. Heather could probably do the best.
We had a top watcher auditor arrested tonight, and we all got together to get her story out there, and we gathered up the money to get her out of jail in the morning because they've got her on a 12-hour hold for aggravated stalking with a camera.
Yeah, they told me that the hold was a domestic hold. And I'm like, what exactly is that? Well, basically domestic violence. And I'm like, but there was no violence. How is that domestic violence? Well, it kind of goes hand in hand. Yeah, I was talking to that Gomez that was giving AFA
Oh,
a
that
hard time.
jerk off. Okay.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna tell you what, he's very good at cop-splaining. Just saying.
Officer Gomez is going to be safe. Oh crap, it's 3 a.m. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get off here and sit by the phone and wait for the phone calls to come in. Like I said, I'll let everybody know just as soon as she's out.
So she's gonna be out at 9:30. You said.
Central
No,
Time.
that's when
Well,
they'll start the process at 9:30.
the bondsman can't even go over there and do anything until 9:30.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, which means he'll go over there at 9:30. His paperwork will take 30 minutes to an hour, and then it's like I told Gomez, I was like, and your guys' process will take 2 or 3 hours. He goes, yeah, sometimes it will, depending on the person. It was like, oh, so you're admitting to it.
Oh, I wish you'd recorded that.
I almost came up on AFA's panel while I was on hold.
So she's in for the 12-hour hold because of the kids.
No.
Basically.
They're saying that it was the guy that was in the front yard. I haven't seen the video. They're saying that it was him that did the complaint. So there is no kid involved. There was no weapon involved. So how they're coming up with that charge, I don't know.
Yeah, that don't make sense considering he came out into a public street to her car and attacked her.
Exactly.
It's just something like that too.
But keep in mind, his brother is a corrections officer at the county jail.
Well, there you go, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, guys, I'm gonna hop down off of here, and like I said, I'll disseminate the information as soon as she's out. You know, we'll get that all taken care of and let everybody know.
Yeah, be sure to text me, Heather, kind of give me updates if you would.
Oh, I definitely will. I definitely will. But it's good seeing you guys. Thanks for having us up, Dads for Service, and keeping it going and getting the word back out there.
Well, I'm also probably gonna go, but first I'll check with Rescue over here if he'll keep it going for the rest of the night. He usually does live streams for quite a while. So
Okay. Well, I will
Rescue.
holler at y'all later. Thanks everybody. Thanks
It was nice
everybody for the help.
Yeah.
You too, hon.
So-
And Dragonette, when she called me last, she did say to give everybody her love and her appreciation for everything that everybody's doing.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
But tell her I said I love her, and you take care.
thanks,
I
Heather.
will. Bye.
Now we can hear you.
Hey,
No,
how's it going?
It wasn't that I couldn't hear you. It was because you weren't up yet on the stream.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't hear you because I hadn't added you. Yeah.
Oh, no worries, bro. No worries. How's it going, man?
Well, inhale, exhale, repeat.
Yeah, no, I feel you, bro. Yeah, so I just had seen that, like when I woke up this morning, I went through my notifications and I seen that AFA had a video about Dragonette being arrested, and I wasn't able to actually view the video, so I was like, oh, scroll on YouTube and blah, blah, blah. And then your channel came up, and I seen it was like a 5-hour stream, and I was like, oh man, it's like I spent like my whole 20 minutes scrolling through, trying to find out what happened. So I don't know if you.
Yeah,
Tell me.
there's not a lot new, but no problem. Let me turn this off. What am I doing here? Take that out. There we go.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that looks much better.
No, Dragonette was out there doing her thing, and I didn't see what happened. I kind of caught like a little bit of clip of what happened, and I was like, that's some crazy stuff, man. Like, I'm not even American, I'm Canadian, so
Okay.
I wish I was American. I hate Canada. I hate it.
So-
It's funny because, and I noticed this the other day when I was on Facebook. If you go to like Justin Trudeau's comment section, it looks like a bot farm. Like so many people who don't even live in this country are commenting on this stuff and all this stuff, and it's like,
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy. You might catch like that one like 95-year-old white lady that lives in Quebec that's like, I love you. You know what I mean? But other than that, it just looks like a bot farm. But Canada's crazy, dude. Canada's gone freaking nuts. Like, there's so many rights in America that you guys have that I'm like, they would never let us have that. Like Second Amendment,
Right.
never gonna happen.
Well, and that's why they're able to take away your other rights because you don't have that one.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy too. Like in Canada, you don't have the right to like defend yourself, like basically at all. Like if someone were to come at you for like in a fist fight, you know what I mean? And you have a fist fight, that's a fair fight. Everyone can agree on that, But like say you were to pull out a knife and be like, dude, don't come at me, bro. I don't want to play games. You know what I mean? You're automatically the aggressor, even though you're trying to be like self-defense.
Right. Wow.
And I'm like, why wouldn't you? You can't carry pepper spray. You can't carry a taser. You can't carry a gun. What are you gonna carry? A hammer in your belt? Like,
you're still the aggressor then. So no, any kind of weapon, yeah, that's not cool.
no, I
Yeah,
agree.
as Big G just said, the second protects the rest. So basically, the first protects a lot, but if the first fails, that's where the second comes in.
Yeah, exactly right. And it's like we have the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, right, in Canada, and it's basically our constitution, and it's basically toilet paper. Like I did not know until this pandemic happened, and there was that trucker rally that happened up in Canada, that there was a loophole within the Chamber of Rights and Freedoms that basically says, well, we can just take all your rights away. We don't have to ask. We can just anyone we want. We can just take them away. Doesn't matter. Public safety, And it's like, what? No, you don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like just yesterday, Justin Trudeau was getting crap again for fraud. I don't know if you've seen that, but yeah, he's on the hook again for that. So do you do audits too, or do you just kind of like share clips and have streams and?
So yeah, I do audits as well, but only sort of kind of.
That's cool. That's cool.
But I decided not to.
And I'd also ask if you could take off that mask because I think it's intimidating. Again, your choice, but I'm asking you if you could please.
Oh,
Right.
and she starts the
Right?
vulgarities
It's
right
like people
there.
have made
I didn't
other
even know
choices.
because I'm looking at the lady to the side,
That's
so you can see me looking. I didn't know she
Right,
was actually
and
flipping off the camera. So she
I
starts the
am
vulgarities
respecting
there.
it, in my opinion. I
I'll
don't
get you if you
understand
wanna-
why this is so difficult.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
I was
very much.
unaware of all of this
I
because
hope
I'm
you
looking
have
over
a
at the lady I'm
safe,
talking to.
Travel, whatever you might be doing. Again,
I hope you guys decide to start covering and protecting their identities. I mean, I suspect part of the reason of doing this in a public venue is to psychologically get it to happen to more people.
Right?
But I'm mentally
Yep.
broken, so
And I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry.
it sucks.
I'm sorry about that. I am sorry. But,
I thought she went the other way.
We're not.
No, it's just the wind breaking it
Somebody
up.
stop.
You can be sued for
I'd like to hear you better.
videotaping medical patients without their permission.
Actually,
She said, "Are you aware you can be sued for videotaping medical patients without their permission?" And we'll go on.
I know
I
I
would have
can't.
said, I hope you got a damn good lawyer.
No, just wait for it.
You didn't
Okay.
get my permission.
I don't need it. You're in a public, visible area,
okay, so.
But I'm a medical patient. You're not allowed.
and
do
that's
what
up to
you're
them to
doing.
protect that identity or information.
Okay, well, I'm a retired lawyer, so dude, I'm telling you.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, okay. No, I just caught it this time. She didn't say "do what I'm telling you." She said "dude, I'm telling you."
yeah.
Yeah, that's better. Because
Sorry, I'm moving my phone around.
No, originally I thought she said "do what I'm telling you." So.
Oh, well, it's a good thing we watch it then.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like wow.
Yeah, right? Like, they have huge open freaking windows. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't even, you could rewind if you want, but I'm like, I didn't even see blinds. And I was trying to look, I was like,
Not a single
looking,
one.
yeah,
Not a
it's like,
single one.
what are you doing? Like, if you,
All
all right, man. Well, thanks
right.
for letting me come on, bro.
Yeah,
Peace
no
out.
worries. I'll let Big G check out that video and maybe keep the stream going. Nobody else is here. Have
Oh,
fun.
I will
puppy.
check in. I will check in on you. All right, peace.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and read this to you, and then the banner will begin. Go ahead and rewind to where the stream stops showing me, and you'll hear a description of what's happened, similar to the following. Dragonette Transparency was allegedly falsely arrested after a relative of the man who verbally sexually assaulted her, that is, told her to perform fellatio on him, started his night shift as some sort of correctional facility employee or other governmental employee. I don't have the video or any written log of what actually happened, nor do I have any contact to ask anyone. So anyway, that's fine. Let's see. She's been arrested and charged with aggravated stalking. If Big G Audits was correct in that word. Initially, she was recording a bus driver because of the issue with drugs and bus drivers exhibiting signs of drug use while driving. We should know more at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time or 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, as the 12-hour hold will have ended and hopefully she'll have bonded out by that time. Now, basically, she was filming a bus driver. A man verbally sexually assaulted her. She wanted him arrested and or charged, and the police said no. Here's the paperwork to do it yourself. She goes back to the scene in order to get the name of the street, and she's further assaulted, but now by multiple men, obviously friends of the original guy. And then she goes home, does some stream, or is available on YouTube and someone else's content. Anyway, further, she is in her nightgown and then arrested. What am I trying to say here? The officers force her to get dressed in public, that's outside of her house, with flashlights shining on her. Whether she's made to do so by way of losing her clothing, that is being naked or not, I don't know. but she is forced to get dressed outside of her home while having been in her robe. That said, the officer or the person who originally assaulted her was a relative of some sort to someone that works in the correctional facility or some other governmental agency. I don't recall those words. I just know the gist of it. So I just know the gist of it. You want more details? You'll have to wait. I'm sure the live stream will end, or rather, someone will come on here and post links to a new live stream, probably AFA, or someone that knows more details. Hopefully, they can give us more then. I'm going to check right now and basically be silent. I'm going to start the scroll at the bottom so people could come watch it, but I will be muted from basically now forward until I'm not. Yeah, they weren't going to hang.
My husband called me and said, I've got her. We're getting in the truck and taking her home. I said, what? Because, I was expecting an hour and a half or so, them to lollygag. No. Yeah, I just heard myself talking. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, she's out. She's out. She's on her way home. She was cold, so my husband's like, take her home and get warmed up.
Nice. All right, so now you all heard. Anyone still watching? I don't know. I'll probably end live. What do you think, Heather?
Well, with her being out, he said you could leave it up till she was out. You probably could go ahead and, stop it, so then if he comes back, they'll just hear what's going on and see the chat.
That's cool. I'm glad she's out. That's just not even right that she was arrested in the first place.
No, I mean it's just a weird situation of how they did it, what happened. I think it had something to do with his brother being, in some type of law enforcement.
Yep. Dragonette, hello. May I share the audio for the live stream? That's me. Oh yeah, duh. Hello, I forgot to unmute myself. Hi. I'm going to share the audio to the live stream, if that's okay.
Can anybody hear me? Oh, great.
Who up on again?
Never been concerned. Yeah. Yeah, I've not been out long, but I'm out. And jail is everything everyone tells me it is.
Yeah, her first experience with it, and hopefully her last experience with it.
Really. I really did not believe that they used concrete for beds with no mats, no cushioning, nothing. It is a block about the size of a twin bed that you can sleep on, and it is cold as ice. Yeah, they keep it less than 50 degrees in there, and I think it's to wear people down. I would think so, especially if they're going to put a long-term hold on you. And I feel that 12 hours in a concrete room on a concrete bed at night is, yeah, that's extreme time to be there. Right. Now, I don't mind telling everyone this, but when the officer got to the door, he didn't have a warrant to come in the house, and he asked me to step outside. And once I stepped outside, I was his. I didn't have anything but my pajamas on. He forced me to dress with my clothes that my husband brought me in my front yard with flashlights on me in front of my neighbors and walked me, I'd say 150 feet from my house to where he parked his car because he didn't want to pull up into the cul-de-sac that I live in. And I was paraded basically to the car because this was like at 6 at night. My neighbors are all still awake. That's our normal bedtime because my husband has to get up at 1 and go to work 1 in the morning. So it seems like a lot of this was just planned. They allowed me to wear a jacket in the police car during the travel, but once I got to the sheriff's detention center, they took my jacket, uh, and all I had on was my shorts and my shirt, and they put me in a concrete room, and there was literally a concrete bed, and I asked for the mat, the blanket, or anything with it. No, you don't get that. So it was an experience that's unforgettable. But I want to thank everybody for being concerned for me. I do appreciate that. Well, I mean, there are a lot of other things I could tell you that would make you even more speechless, but the system is set up to just about kill anyone that goes in there because they would not allow me to take my medications. They would not give me medications. Um, and I am currently in heart failure on medications for that. And I have a streaming device from my home that goes directly to nurses that call me and tell me when I have to go to the emergency room. It's used mostly during the night. And, they didn't care. They didn't care that I had not taken my medication. They didn't care that the nurses were not going to get these vital signs. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's inhumane. Now, I knew the system was bad, but I guess you have to personally experience it. You have to personally experience that to really believe it. Oh, right. It is. And the charges are trumped up and they amount to nothing. But I mean, if I were found guilty, they would amount to 10 to 20 years in prison. But the thing is I did not do what I'm accused of doing, period. And I don't understand how they can take this man's hearsay because they told me they could not take my word against his, but yet they're taking his word against mine. Right. Well, I, I'm afraid- right. Heather probably told you that I discovered his brother works at the facility that I went into last week. And they waited until his shift because they work from like 6 to 6, 12-hour shifts. And I was I was at the jail at 6:30. And he had the biggest smile you would not believe, like a canary sticking out of the mouth of a cat. They caught me. But I hope it's my last experience in the jail But I have news for this county. It's not my last attempt at trying to get the government to follow the rules. The thing that hung me up is that a citizen instead of a cop got involved, and he just happens to be the brother of a police officer. So he went to his brother, I'm sure, to find a legal loophole to make the charges. The charges are not going to stick, I'm sure, but it's going to cost money for me to go through that process, and they don't mind making other people spend this money to protect themselves. No.
Okay, now
I
you all
get,
can hear me. I know you're good, but they go ahead.
oh, okay.
This should work now. Yeah, they can hear me. Papa Chuck says, or YouTube turn says, glad you're home. And did they let you keep your shoes, or did they take those too?
No, they left my shoes with me, um, but they took the laces. They were tennis shoes, so they took the laces, but I was able to keep the tennis shoes on.
Yeah.
It's degrading. It's degrading, and people are brought up on false charges all the time that have to go through this, and they have it set up to a torture chamber. You're tortured the entire time that you're there.
Pretty much. That's what you just described. Yeah.
Right, and it's not right to torture innocent people, and you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So they should have a jailing system that treats you as a human being first, and then if you're found guilty, maybe give you the concrete slab to sleep on.
Yeah.
Take.
Hey, Dad,
Yeah.
I've got a message for you. There are several people trying to get in that can't get in because of the subscription thing you got on there.
Oh, okay. Let me change that real quick.
Yeah, change it real quick so they can get in.
Hello, Carla.
Good morning.
So,
Good morning.
subscribers 1 minute or just anyone?
Just anyone, because I don't know that all of them are subscribed yet. It's people that helped out last night and are really concerned and love Dragonette.
There we go. So subscribers only mode is off.
I will let them know.
What's that?
People trying to comment. Far left.
And-
Yeah, you're
Good
on
morning.
the live stream. I've been going live now.
Well, if you want to be able to keep it up, don't go to the 12-hour mark. Cut it just short of it, because you know that little timer you see
Yeah.
when it says like 11:50. You need
Okay.
to go ahead and set it down so that it will upload. Otherwise, YouTube won't let it go on.
But you've been on here 11 hours. Wow.
Well, I
That's to
took a
you,
nap.
Dragon.
What'd
Yeah,
you
he did. I woke him up.
I'm sorry.
Official misconduct made it in. He was asleep, and I came in here and I started doing the nanner alarm. So that's how he got up to get the update that you were out of jail.
Who? Farda?
Not me.
No, Dad4 Service.
Service. Well, I'm overwhelmed really because I didn't think that that I had really that many.
People love you, Dragonette.
That's just amazing.
You happy you're home, Dragon?
I'm sorry, Farda, I didn't hear you.
You happy to be home?
Even if my husband was here, I'd be happy to be home.
Oh, this is a good question, or rather, not a question, but something you don't need to answer. Papa Chuck says he doesn't want you to answer this, but he hopes you have security cameras around your house. I mean,
I appreciate the thought.
Yeah.
Papa.
Maybe stick your phone in a window or something, fucking facing outside or something.
Yeah.
And,
Well, it's crazy. I think I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it because when the police came last night and got us out of bed, I was at the electrician. He was there to tell me that they were issuing the warrant on the guy for assaulting me because I had been there all day yesterday filling out paperwork for him to be charged with assault. They denied me assault, but then they started giving me all the paperwork to take it to a grand jury to have like an appeal or whatever. And during this whole process, they were somewhere creating this warrant for my arrest. And it just so happened that his brother went on duty at 6 and I got to the police station at 6:30. I mean, it's sad that they're able to use family members because I was guaranteed by the sheriff that this man that I'm dealing with is not an officer. That was made very clear to me several times. And now that I think about it, since it was overly stated, they wanted me to know he was not an officer, but you know his brother was, and that's not him. But it's still that same blue pool.
Exactly. Well, it's like I told you, my neighbor being a corrections officer. Welcome, sweetheart.
Very long either. Sleeping on a concrete slab really doesn't give you sleep, so I'm going to try and rest and get some of my body to start healing. But I appreciate everything that everyone's done, and I will be back on panel or whatever anytime. I just got to do something for my body right now.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I got hold of Chuck during his live, and he stopped his live and got everybody in the chat over to accountability for all's live.
Did that?
Yeah, I got hold of Bailey, and Bailey rang Chuck, and Chuck stopped, and I talked to Chuck in the chat, and he actually stopped his live and got everybody straight over as soon as accountability for all. As soon as Josh went live, everybody came over.
I'm flabbergasted. I really didn't. I didn't realize, I suppose, the community that I have around me, and I appreciate it.
That was awesome. It really was awesome.
Family does not like what I do, but my YouTube family, I love to death. And you all are awesome. I so appreciate what you've done for me.
It was really nice, Dragon. It was really cool. Everybody came. The whole, like literally everybody in Chuck's chat came over.
Oh yeah, the channel, what was it, AFA? His
Yeah.
his, concurrent viewers was up in the 150 or something like that range at one point. So
yeah.
My goodness.
Just people.
Well, I appreciate it all, but I'm going to jump off here because I'm going to rest some. I'll be back later this evening, and thank you guys. Thank you, Dad4 and Farlap. Thank you.
AFA on the panel now.
Oh, as a
well, we had for a second. Dropped.
I appreciate it so much, and I'll talk with him later this evening.
All right, I'll let him know if he comes back or if needed. So I'm glad to
Okay,
hear you.
thank you.
You have a good day.
Okay, I'll catch you on YouTube shortly. I've got a bit of stuff to do. It's 5 o'clock in the morning for me, so I'll catch you in a bit.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, so I'm going to drop out of Discord. At least that. So bring back my avatar. Here we go. AFA, she just disconnected from Discord if you weren't aware.
Oh, I'm just gonna tell her I'm glad she's home. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Have you been live? You've been live this whole time. Thanks, brother. You're the best, man.
Well, I went and slept for a bit, but yeah, the stream ran.
Awesome. All right. Well, listen, you have a good day. Thanks a lot, bro. And keep doing what you do. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right.
Just gotta keep pushing through, right?
Keep plugging away. That's all.
For public safety, she might not have seen your message asking her to call, so don't know. Again, she wasn't in StreamYard. She wasn't in the live stream. She was over in Discord in the voice chat, and that's how we were communicating through and to her. Yeah, she's out for now. It's time for her to rest. I'm glad people have jumped back in, but I'm about to end the stream. So, all right, so that's about it for the stream. All right, so let's go. I think that's it. Any other comments? Should I just end it? I don't know. I'm amateur. It's okay. I'm allowed to be. Yeah. Good night or good day. Whatever. Talk to y'all later. Bye.